about a survey from Monster that just came out today. They talked to some students who are graduating college now, and more than half of them, 59%, said they only expect their job search to take 1 to 2 months. Do you think that's realistic, optimistic? What are they looking at?
I think if grads have done a lot of preparation prior to graduating in terms of having clarity about the field that they want to be in and having a good understanding of their skill set, along with knowing which companies they want to target, I think, yes, they could have a shorter time frame. If they're coming out of school and they're not sure what they want to do, or they're not sure how to take their major and turn that into a career, it could take a little bit longer. But I think as long as they get some clarity around direction, as well as who they are and the skills that they can provide an employer, it will actually help them in being successful in the search.
So how can they go about doing that?
Sure. So the first thing that I offer to grads is before you go to apply online or send your resume to lots of people, take a step back and take an inventory of those skills that you think you're the best at. Are you a great writer? Are you really analytical? Understand what are the top 3 things that you think you could bring to an employer. And make sure that you have experiences that would back that up, whether it's from the classroom or part-time jobs or an internship. What did you do to prove that you have that skill? Then, when you have clarity, start thinking about your network. Who can you talk to then see if there's opportunities? I always suggest to do targeted networking. Think about the 10 people or identify 10 people who have a job that you want. And maybe these people should be recent grads or people who graduated in the last 5 to 7 years, and understand what the options are for someone who had the same major and look at the type of opportunities. Also look at 10 companies, identify 10 companies that you are interested in and start doing some research. Look them up in the news, see who their leaders are and what initiatives they have, so you can actually have a targeted job search as opposed to only waiting to see what's online. You can have more control of the process. And
great. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I could offer one more thing. And the last thing is to think about is make sure you just have your toolkit ready. And what by toolkit I mean, do you have a current resume, updated LinkedIn profile, and an elevator pitch, or be ready to answer, tell me about yourself. And make sure that maybe you test it out with someone else to read your materials or listen to what you have to say so you're ready to go when you go to meet those employers.
Right, because probably a lot of these students maybe don't have experience in interviewing for a corporate situation. You know, they likely probably had a part-time job, but, you know, not in the sense of, you know, getting dressed up and preparing for the interview process and things like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is new. And because young adults have grown up in the age of technology, they're not always as comfortable picking up the phone to call someone or sitting down and having coffee and having a conversation that enables them to network and talk about themselves and also ask great questions, to be curious and learn about other ways you could potentially make your way into that organization. So yeah, those face-to-face people skills are really important in the process.
What are some things, you know, our audience skews a little bit older, so we're talking to people who likely have the children who are in this situation now, graduating college. What can some of these parents be doing, you know, to make sure that the kids aren't boomeranging back, at least not for too, you know, a little while is okay probably, right? But not forever.
Yes, the goal is to get them off the payroll at some point. But what I would encourage parents to do is to remind your student that people hire people, and as much as there's this desire to do a lot of things online and using technology, the more you can encourage your child to speak directly with people, to build relationships with contacts in companies, that's how people get to know them. So encourage them to continue to do that even though there might be some resistance. And the other thing is that parents can make connections and introductions. But I encourage parents to make sure that one, their grad is prepared, that they are confident in how they talk about themselves, and that they've done research on the person and the company that they're going to meet with. You don't want to hurt any relationships that you might have, and you want to make sure that they are ready and it's the right time. Because sometimes parents make introductions a little too soon, and if their grad wasn't ready, they may not be a great outcome in the future with that connection.
Speaking of doing things too soon, students are graduating now and looking now, they might be a little bit behind the 8 ball, even though the economy's pretty good and unemployment's low and people are hiring.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody has, maybe a rising senior this year, what should they be doing, to kind of get ahead of things in this final year of college to get ready for the job market?
Great question. The number one thing is preparing early. So the more that a rising senior can think about, even now, this summer, about how they're going to plan ahead for the job market. So a few things. One, starting to create that target list. Be really clear about the kinds of companies and the people that you want to go after. And start that networking even over the summer. A lot of companies like to hire a year in advance. So when students go back to campus this fall in September and October in the career fair, to be prepared for that, to know the companies you want to meet with, to know how to speak about yourself, to have some clarity about the potential fields or industries that you might want to go into, and absolutely be ready for those career fairs, because this is the only time in your life when companies come looking for you on campus and you want to take advantage of that. So early preparation, everything that I just said about making sure your resume is ready, LinkedIn, doing that now. And also, by the way, meet with professors. Professors are a fantastic resource on campus, especially in the classes that you've really enjoyed. So you want to see if they have any colleagues or advice that they could offer you. So make use of campus resources while you have them.
Great. Is there anything else you think would be useful that I didn't ask you about?
The other thing I was going to say, one of the questions you could ask is, there's 2 million grads coming out of school right now in this May, that what can you do to stand out? So do you want me to answer that?
So yeah, that'd be great.
So grads are a little overwhelmed, even though it's a good job market. It's highly competitive, and there are a couple million other grads coming out. So how do you stand out? How do you look different to an employer? And the two best ways to do that is, one, to have really good clarity on the skill set that you can bring to an employer with good examples that prove it, but also how you link that to helping that employer or recruiter to how can you help them be more successful? How can you help them accomplish their goals with your skills? And that's what usually enables a candidate to stand out. When you put yourself in the other person's shoes, that's what makes an employer really look at you a little bit differently, because you've taken the time to focus on what's important to them.